So this is how I repaired my Turtle Beach Recon 500 headset. The normal way these fail is through a broken connection here where the cable meets the plug. My first thought was to replace the plug, but the cables used in these use an enamelled wire which is really thin and it's coated in an insulator which makes them really hard to work with. Even if you manually scrape off the enamel coating, they're just very small and it just leads to a bad time. So instead I replaced the whole cable, which can be done very cheaply. I bought this one from AliExpress for £3.5. It's a 4-conductor jack, so that's tip, ring, sleeve. And what's nice about this is that they've already stripped and tinned the wires, so it'll be really easy to solder. The first thing I did was add some heat shrink to the jack end of the cable. This was optional, but it should make the replacement cable last a lot longer because it spreads the tension on the wire over a wider area. I used Rolson 8mm heat shrink. Is it me, or is heat shrink just the most satisfying thing ever? To remove the old cable, first I popped off the microphone, gently pulled away the ear pad. That revealed 4 screws to remove. I was careful here because the whole ear cup is still attached by 2 very thin wires to the speaker, and I didn't want to tug on that. The moulded end of the wire is glued into the ear cup. I had to use a screwdriver and quite a lot of force to lever it out. What's nice here is that Turtle Beach have added text labels to the PCB to identify each of the solder pads. Using a soldering iron, I desoldered the 5 connections here to remove the faulty cable. Here you can see the labelled solder pads for left in, right in, speaker ground, mic positive and mic negative. Once I'd worked out using the continuity tester on a multimeter which wires went to which sections on the old and new jack plugs, I soldered the new wire in place on the old pads. Here you can see the final setup. To give some strain relief to the solder joints, I bonded the new cable in place with a hot glue gun. Then it was a case of putting the 4 screws back in place again, refitting the foam ear cup, and then I added a little more hot glue here for extra strength. And the job was complete, a £70 headset repaired for just £3.50.